Sweet Auburn, loveliest village of the plain, where health and plenty cheered the laboring swain, where smiling spring its earliest visit paid, and parting summer's lingering blooms delayed. A delayed season, but it's here nonetheless. Great things come to those who wait. And the SEC Freshman of the Year, Bo Nix, getting back in the stadium today, along with the Auburn fans. Kentucky has a big blue chip on its shoulder. They're looking to prove the doubters wrong again. Welcome back, SEC football. SEC football presented by Allstate as part of Marathon Conference Kickoff. 17,000 plus inside Jordan-Hare today for a top 25 showdown. Number 23 Kentucky and 8th ranked Auburn. And we welcome you to the broadcast. Oliver Goldsmith must have been a football fan. Tom Hart in Atlanta, Jordan Rodgers at his home, and Cole Cubelic on site. Jordan, we get to see some quarterbacks who love to get it done today. And most importantly, we get football back.
We get to see quarterbacks, and there is fans in the stands. Thank God for Greg Sankey in the SEC for taking things patiently and getting us back to real football.
So if you've forgotten, here's what Kentucky has been about. Mark Stoops has built a program. They came out fighting in the Belk Bowl, and they delivered the first and last punch against Virginia Tech behind Lynn Bowden, now off to the NFL, but one of the best rushing teams in all of college football last year. And Eddie Grant has his quarterback back. He finally has a quarterback room again. Terry, touchdown back to lead this Kentucky offense. Great to see him back in football.
Yeah, not enough credit is due to Eddie Grant and what he did last year with Lynn Bowden, a receiver playing quarterback. But finally, this potent ground attack is going to have some balance, and Terry Wilson is talented and he is confident. Expect some numbers today from number 3.
On the other side for Auburn, now a sophomore. Quarterback Bo Nix took the SEC by storm last year, but there is still room to improve.
Yeah, all he did as a true freshman in his first game is throw a game-winning touchdown over Oregon, who went on to be a conference champion, and it only got better from there. Look, there is improvements to be made in the passing game. I think Chad Morris, the new offensive coordinator, will help out with that, but Bo Nix has it. He's got swagger. He's got moxie. Call it what you want. He's got it in spades, and he's going to take a big step for Auburn this year.
Yeah, chance to show it early. Kentucky won the toss. They've deferred. Auburn will receive for more on this Auburn offense. Let's go down to the field. Here's Cole Cubelic.
Tom, I just love being on a grass field inside an SEC stadium. A lot's going to be different outside the stadium, inside the stadium, around the sideline, and a lot's going to be different with that Auburn offense. Not just Chad Morris changing the scheme and calling the plays, but the Auburn offensive line has to be a point of emphasis. 4,013 snaps are gone from Auburn starting offensive linemen a season ago. Just 213 returned from that group. Chad Morris's offense is going to get going. That offensive line is going to have to do work early.
I don't know if Cole is resting on his laurels or sitting down on the job, but if things are going to be different, why not do your first hit differently? Chance Bohr to kick things off. And Shivers from a yard deep is going to bring it out with a bolt past the 25 and all the way to the 34-yard line. It's a loud crowd of 17,000 plus Jordan-Hare, and they will cheer their quarterback Bo Nix, the reigning SEC Freshman of the Year. You know his Auburn background. His dad played quarterback on the Plains, first true freshman to start the opener since '46. And here's what his OC has said about him. One of the big characteristics, slow the game down, anticipate the throws, anticipate the windows coming open. We'll see more of a passing attack for Auburn this year. And on first down, they will throw. Pass is tipped and incomplete. Trying to find Seth Williams.
And already I love this. Chad Morris comes out 5 wide, but with a tight end, number 47, John Schenker, on the field. He's already trying to manipulate the personnel that Kentucky's going to have to put on the field, a linebacker or a nickel.
On 2nd and 10, Nix will keep it around the end, and he gets falling forward for an Auburn first down. Kelvin Joseph with the stop, a gain of 11.
And that right there is the chess match. Kentucky comes out with a nickel on the field, an extra DB. So Chad Morris brings the tight end in and run the football.
How important is a tight end to Auburn? Chad Morris was talking with his dad a couple days ago. He said the first thing my dad asked, are you going to use the tight end? Against pressure, they swing it outside to Anthony Schwartz, and he picks up 8. Chad Morris, former head coach at Arkansas and SMU, formerly offensive coordinator at Clemson, has taken over this Auburn offense. First season as the OC. He and Gus Malzahn go way back to their high school coaching days in Texas and Arkansas, respectively. Nix again with a straight drop. Now deep into coverage, and it's incomplete. Trying to find Williams again.
I love the shot. Back the defense up early. Kentucky, one of the best in the country last year at limiting explosive plays. They only gave up one pass play of more than 40 yards all year, best in the FBS. So Auburn's going to have to take their chances. But if it's not there, Bo Nix got to check that ball down and live to play another play.
3rd down 2. Shivers is the running back. This is a stout Kentucky defense, and they come up big with Quinton Bohanna, first man there. That's going to force 4th and 1.
Big number 95, Quinton Bohanna. Kentucky needs to see a lot more out of him this year on that one right there. He had the push that stymied that run, but Auburn, I love it. Let's roll the dice in Chad Morris's first drive.
They were 7 of 15 on 4th down last season. Nix out of the shotgun, needing 1.
Keep in mind, he punted out of this formation a few times towards the end of last season.
It looks like that's what they're going to line up here as Shanker comes into a wing, and Nix will back up to the 47. Home crowd knows what's coming. Try to pooch it inside the 10 with no return man. And that's exactly what he'll be able to do. And that means it's a long field for the long-awaited return of Terry Wilson. Terry Wilson now is senior. He lost the job to Justin Herbert at Oregon in 2016. Went to Garden City Community College in Nowhere, Kansas in 2017. And all he did in 2018 was lead Kentucky to its first 10-win season since 1979. Injured early last year, he, along with the rest of this Kentucky program, is playing with a chip on his shoulder. Justin Rigg is his tight end, and they will run it on 1st down, and Asim Rose is able to push out 7.
Keep your eye on Rose. This is his time to shine. He sat behind Benny Snell. He's waited his turn. He's a talented running back and a great push early for Kentucky from that offensive line.
Kentucky was one-dimensional on with their offense last year by necessity. And now on 2nd and 3, back to Rose, also known as A.J. Rose, and he picks up 2. And Jordan, talking with the Auburn coaches, they said, listen, they had to run it last year. They probably got a lot of great ideas on how to run it.
Yeah, how could you not? I mean, if you're Kevin Steele, you got to look back at 2018 to see what they did with Terry Wilson when he was healthy. But you got to look at last year and go, they're going to use some of this. They averaged 280 yards on the ground.
3rd down 1. K.J. Britt, middle linebacker for Auburn, pointing out where Wilson might be going. And Wilson will check. Rose straight ahead, needed 1, maybe. K.J. Britt came flying in to stop him. And Kentucky picks up the 1st down.
It's going to be interesting to continue to watch this as it develops, Tom. You know, Terry Wilson tore his patellar tendon in his left knee. And as a quarterback, anytime you're in your first game action after an injury, sometimes you're not sure if you can trust it yet. On that one, I thought Terry Wilson could have pulled that and ran it himself. The look dictated that, but he handed it off anyway. Let's see how long it takes to where he tests that knee out.
He wants to throw on 1st down this time. This is Josh Ali, and they snuff out the screen. No gain.
This is good early in a drive for a quarterback that's taken a year off. You want to get him an easy completion. Your first one, You're always the most nervous, and I know Terry's a confident quarterback, but get one under your belt. I know it didn't gain any yards, but that one's there. Let the nerves go.
Kavosiey Smoke is his running back. Wilson lets it go again. And fantastic coverage by Tutt on Ali. Christian Tutt playing the star position for Auburn. That's a hybrid spot. Great coverage.
Yeah, and he's one of the best athletes on the team. He's an extremely talented punt returner, and he's so good in coverage. This secondary for Kevin Steele and Auburn lost a lot to the NFL draft. Jeremiah Dinson is no longer there, but they are strong. It's one of their strengths on the back end. Jerry Sherwood, Christian Tutt, Smoke Monday. They're talented on the back end.
Blitz coming up the middle. Going to the screen again. And Ali springs free and breaks it to the outside. Josh Ali against the blitz is able to pick up 22 and a Kentucky first down.
And it's a great block on the outside. Looked like Luke Fortner, the right guard, got out and got in front of a defensive back that was going to make the tackle on Josh Ali. Look at this. Got it. Boom. Just as he makes that catch. It's a big block that springs it for the first down.
We'll talk about the Kentucky offensive line in just one moment with Cole, but first, his first down play. And Wilson will carry it for the first time. And the ball came loose late. They say he was down. Justin Rigg recovered. Anyway, gain of 7. Cole, your thoughts on this Kentucky O-line, the big blue line?
Yeah, I think it's one of the better offensive lines in college football. One of the best offensive lines in the SEC. Drake Jackson, best center in the SEC for me. Kennard and Landon Young, probably after Alex Leatherwood, 2 of the better tackles in this league. You could probably plug them in 2 and 3 if you wanted to. Ton of experience, ton of wherewithal, and a ton of snaps played by this group.
Second and 3. This is Rose again, and Kentucky is gashing Auburn here on this possession. That's a gain of 8 before KJ Britt makes a stop.
Another big hole by this offensive line. Sorry to cut you off, Cole, but I think that's one of the mismatches of this game is no more Derek Brown, no more Marlon Davidson. This front defensive 3 is different. Big Cat Bryant not out there either. This offensive line for Kentucky is having a good start to this football game.
80 combined career starts with that O-line, and Kentucky averaging 6 yards a play here on this possession. This is Rose, and he's bottled up. No gain.
Yeah, guys, Big Cat Bryant rolled his ankle earlier in the week. Inside drill, kind of a full-speed drill. Just kind of had somebody come down on that ankle. He had it taped up, spatted up. Was watching him before the game a little bit. Did not seem anywhere near a 100%. And like you said, Tom, have not seen a lot of him here today. Connus Miller, another interior defensive lineman, no longer with this team. He was in for the majority of camp. It's a very different front for these Auburn Tigers.
Derek Brown is gone. Marlon Davidson is gone. And now new faces even from a week ago on that line for Auburn. On 2nd and 10, 4-man rush. And that'll be a gain of just 2.
Interesting to watch how Kentucky develops this offensive passing attack. I will say Auburn's a team that likes to play up in your face. They like to press man coverage on the outside. A lot of Terry Wilson's favorite concepts. Hank, curls, seams. They're better against zone. So how does Eddie Gran dial up as you see press coverage across the board? These Kentucky receivers have got to start getting open down the field.
They've already converted a 3rd and 9 on this drive. And Auburn jumps. Free play for Wilson. Back to the wide receiver screen again with Ali. T.D. Moultrie, big number 99 at the end, was the one who jumped over the line. Get our first chance to hear from our ref, Steve Marlowe.
5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Talking with Eddie Gran, the offensive coordinator for Kentucky, about Terry Wilson. He said, listen, any quarterback can be compromised if you're leaning on 2nd and long or 3rd and long. And now a much different scenario here after the penalty. They'll redo 3rd instead of 3rd and long. It's 3rd and manageable.
4 receivers down to the bottom.
Smoke down the line, and Kavosiey Smoke inside the 5 and inside the pylon. A 35-yard touchdown run, and Kentucky's on the board early.
And this is just brilliant play design by Eddie Gran. There's actually 2 play calls for this. A pass short to the right, or a run. Excuse me, pass short to the left or a run to the right. Auburn linebackers bumped over to the 4 receiver side, left a gap over the right guard, and that's exactly where Smoke was able to attack.
That was excellent work on that double team by Drake Jackson. Kentucky center got a good push, removed your defender from the box, climbed up to inside linebacker Owen Popo.
Matt Ruffalo for the point after. Kentucky, after an 11-play, 93-yard drive in which they converted 3 third downs, takes an early lead on Auburn, 7-0.
Welcome back to the Marathon Conference Kickoff.
Jordan-Hare Stadium, the site, 17,490 seats available in this one. The majority of them went to students. Cole, different feel on game day, or does it feel normal to you?
A very different feel, Tom. I didn't see one RV, didn't see one camper, didn't see one tailgate tent rolling into Jordan-Hare Stadium this morning. I will say, the way that Allen Green has spread this crowd out, a lot of people have talked about the optics of it and how cool it's going to look, but I'm telling you, the noise is what's going to make the difference. It's not going to be compacted into one corner of the stadium. So audibly, it feels much more normal than I think a lot of fans thought it would.
Chance Poore to kick off. Tank Bigsby will bring it out of the end zone. Bigsby out to the 20. And another big return for Auburn past the 30. Let's take a look at Winning with Style, brought to you by Bell.
One of the knocks on Bo Nix last year was his inability or inaccuracy pushing the ball downfield. But look at this. What are you going to do here as a quarterback? 3 receivers running straight downfield with over-the-top zone coverage, and you got a running back sitting there. Hey, don't watch the game. Participate. He's obviously told to stay in and block. Chad Morris has got to do more to design plays that give Bo Nix options underneath when they're trying to take a shot, so he can get completions, not scramble and play backyard football. That leads to the inaccuracies and negative plays.
Our visit with Gus Malzahn yesterday, and by the way, there's a look, a nod to the late Pat Dye with the short sleeve shirt, tie, and the ball cap. We got movement for Auburn. It's now Pat Dye Field. But talking with Gus yesterday, he was so supportive of Bo Nix, even to go so far as to say, listen, guys, he's a freshman playing in the SEC West. Look at the schedule we played last year. That's hard for anybody, let alone a true freshman quarterback.
Totally. I don't look at the completion percentage last year
First down.
and say, you know, he should have been better or he can't be accurate. Not at all. He has the capability to be an accurate quarterback. The play design needs to allow him to attack areas of the defense that are vacated. And I don't think they did that quite enough last year.
First Auburn freshman to start the opener since Travis Tidwell in 1946. Here's Shivers trying to find the edge. And took a late shot after he was run down on a game of 7. Jamin Davis.
Boy, he's exciting to watch, huh? Shivers, he's explosive. He puts his foot in the ground and can get vertical in a hurry. And only at 5'7", sometimes that's tough for the defense. You can't see him over the offensive line, and that gets him a head start.
Fort Lauderdale native out of Chaminade Madon. Almost got tripped up in the edge, stayed on his feet, and he's motoring his way to the 43. What a run and a first down.
Look at the balance, the vision. I mean, Auburn running the football hasn't been as dominant as they would like to be over the past couple years. And I think it's going to be a little bit by committee this year. But, man, if Shaun Shivers can keep running the football like that, that's going to open things up for Bo Nix.
They change it up now. DJ Williams in the backfield. On play action. Nix over the middle. Caught, and an Auburn first down. Cole, this Auburn offense already looks different.
Go ahead, Cole.
I was going to say there's no doubt about how different looks. Slide protection there, but Jordan, you're not going to get this kind of a route tree in the previous offense. Bo Nix not going to have these kind of options.
I love it.
And they swing it out to the perimeter this time. Eli Stone.
Think about it. That last play, what did I just show? I showed 3 guys running vertical. That time, 1 guy ran vertical. There was coverage over the top. So where was the hole opened up? Underneath in the intermediate area. And that's exactly where Seth Williams' route was designed to go. Great play call, great play design, and great execution by Bo Nix.
Big 89 J.J. Pegues in at tight end. They go behind him. He's out to block at 300 pounds, and he rings Anthony Schwartz. Just outside the goal line, a gain of 22. That's a 300-pound tight end getting out on the edge to block. Nix, end zone. Incomplete, trying to find Williams.
I mean, here is Pegues, the 300-pound tight end, lead blocking for Anthony Schwartz. And look at that 300-pound guy out in space on a cornerback, opening up the hole for Schwartz. That was close there. I'm surprised they didn't give us time to give it another look.
Pegues still in on the right side. He was a Wildcat quarterback in high school. They go straight ahead, and DJ Williams plunges in.
A great lock on the screenplay to free Anthony Schwartz, and then J.J. Pegues, the true freshman, 6'2", 300-pound tight end, just blew up a Kentucky defensive lineman to open a hole there for the touchdown.
Uh-oh. Nix going for two, and he finds a tight end, Shanker.
Tom, the swinging gate. We used to practice this all the time. Everybody lines up to the left side. If they don't adjust, then you roll out to the right. You never see it, but hey, week one, let's bring it out, Gus.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. Get a quote today. And in part by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
New SEC policy that you're no live animals on the field, so no aria, no spirit, either on or above the field. Ed Jordan-Hare, one of the many changes to be COVID compliant. Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kublik. Auburn went to the swinging gate with Grant Loy throwing the two-point conversion to John Samuel Shanker on the last play.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to watch 89 on this kick coverage team as well. Travis Williams told me that sometimes he's the first player down on kick cover. 6'2", 300, Jordan. He's on kick cover.
He's the first guy to the left of the kicker on your screen. Watch 89, 300 pounds, get down the field here.
No return for Zach Johnson. There he is.
It's a good looking 300. He holds it a lot better than Cole does.
Thank you.
I mean, he's step for step there for the first few with the receiver. Then he realizes it's out of the end zone. I can save my gas.
Conservation is key when you're over 3 bills.
Yes.
Tosser Rodriguez is blown up. Jalen Simpson.
What a play. I mean, when you watch film on Kentucky, they love the toss sweep. Sometimes to the field, sometimes to the boundary. It's more of a flavor of the week for Eddie Gran. But, boy, look at the speed. I mean, Simpson diagnosed that right away. Not sure if that was a design blitz and he was already headed there or just great read. But either way, a huge tackle for loss for Simpson.
And we know what the counters are for Kentucky off of that toss sweep. We saw him last year with Lynn Bowden. Here's a Terry Wilson run. And with some lead blockage, he's able to pull off a run of 8.
I tell you what, 2 runs under his belt. Terry Wilson's knees feeling fine, and he is as confident as I have ever seen him or maybe a quarterback week 1 in the SEC.
Kentucky 3 of 3 on third downs already. They converted a 3rd and 9 and a 3rd and 8. Pressure from the edge. Wilson steps up, and he'll scramble forward for the Kentucky first down.
It's a great job here by the Kentucky offensive line. Pressure comes from the left there. It's picked up, and Terry Wilson, first read's not there, second read's not there. Use your legs. Great decision to tuck the ball and pick up the first down.
Play action, everybody covered. And out of bounds, incomplete.
There's another formation that Eddie Grant's going to put out there to see how Auburn reacts. How many guys they walk over the 3 stack at the top. Now Terry Wilson's going to adjust the play. They walked out 3. Now the box is light. Expect a quick throw or a quarterback drop.
They've got Papo on the tight end rig, part of the trips formation at the top. Fake the screen. Wilson going to run it. And Papo able to get back in and make the tackle, but not before it picks up 6.
Tom, you mentioned how Owen Papo flexed out over the tight end. I talked to Travis Williams about Owen Papo, the linebacker coach at Auburn, yesterday. He said, Cole, the guy could start at nickel for us if we really needed him to. He runs that well, but not going to be afraid to leave him on the field in 3rd and longs, 2nd and longs, because his versatility and speed allows him to do things that most linebackers can't.
They get a little bit heavier with KJ Britt coming in now, and middle linebacker. Sherwood walks up to the line. 3rd and 5. Play clock at 5. Here's A.J. Rose, and he picks up a Kentucky first down on their 2nd possession. They're moving again. Smoke Monday forced him out after a pickup of 10.
Notice what Eddie Grant's doing. Previous play, he widens everybody out, vacates the box, runs quarterback draw. This time he condenses the set, brings everybody in, and then leaks the running back out because his defenders now got to work through traffic and gets him on the edge. That's a brilliant job of creating space through formations by Eddie Grant.
Wilson floats it incomplete, trying to find Josh Ali.
It's tough to see on that first angle, but it looked like this is one that you expect Josh Ali to come down with. Wilson does a great job of hanging in there under pressure. Oh, just off the tip of his fingers. I'm a quarterback, though. You got to bring that one down, huh, Tommy?
Yeah. Wilson had to deal a lot of traffic in the backfield just to get it out. Auburn jumps again. Here's Rose, quickly brought down by KJ Britt, Auburn's leader on defense. And we'll hear from Steve Marlowe, our white hat, once again.
I'll tell you what, Tom, right after this call.
Offside. Defense, number 45. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
All these guys watch football, right? You turn on football on Sundays. You're watching the NFL. Someone jumps and the play continues. What do? Huck it downfield. You got a free play. Either you get a big explosive play. Maybe you get pass interference. You turn 5 into 15. Man, I just want to see Terry as an experienced quarterback, especially the second time that happens, backpedal and chuck it up.
Not just a great 2018 for Terry Wilson, but great on the road. Come from behind win last second against Missouri. One on the road in Florida for the first time in forever. Chris Rodriguez picks up 2.
Fellas, I'll go back to the Auburn defense jumping off sides, and something that we may not have thought about that could be an advantage for teams with limited crowds, and that's the hard count, a hard snap count, because usually there's so much ambient noise, they might not be as impactful. With things toned down just a little bit, that may actually be more effective for an offense to utilize against the defense.
I tell you what, I don't know how many times a visiting team that operates primarily out of shotgun isn't using a silent count, right? You're absolutely right. Usually there's 3 times the amount of fans.
On 3rd and 3, Wilson brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That's how the first quarter will come to an end. KJ Britt with a big stop. Auburn hasn't had enough of those here in the first quarter. But the Tigers, with a trick play, go for 2 to take the lead. The score is right. Number 8 Auburn with 8 on the scoreboard, leading Kentucky 8-7 in the SEC opener for both. Fourth and 3 for the Kentucky Wildcats. Terry Wilson and the Cats with their 10th play of the drive going to leave the offense on the field as we start the second quarter. I love this call.
It's the way the game's going to go, Tom. Both these offenses are having success early on. Why not take the chance?
In plus territory, a punt wouldn't net you much. The split out rig, the tight end. Play clock at 5. To the slant. It is incomplete, knocked away by the Tigers. Christian Tutt.
Initially they had a run play on, but Auburn had 6 in the box, so they switch it to inside slants. But that's just great play there on the outside by Christian Tutt. He breaks on that slant early and cuts the ball off. Instead of going over the back of the defender, try to beat him to the ball, and that's exactly what he did.
So Auburn takes over on downs. Bo Nix and this Auburn offense got it going on the last drive. Sean Shivers in a tailback. And they went for 2 on their first touchdown of the season. Nix swings it out. Seth Williams to midfield.
Seth Williams, a special receiver. 830 yards, 8 touchdowns. Last year I had him as my 5th best receiver in the SEC, with a lot to prove and move up on that list. Just get the guy the ball in space.
Nix chased in the backfield, and he shoves it away, incomplete. Let's get to the studio. Here's Dari.
First studio update of the year. It's going to be Peter Burns instead of Dari Noga. How about this? First Gators touchdown, Kyle Trask to one Kyle Pitts.
Play
We've
action.
seen that a lot, right? Florida up 7-0 on Ole Miss. Their first trip to Oxford since 2007. But then the Lane Train dials this up. 1st and 10. Matt Corral to Dontario Drummond, getting it done. 7-7 late in the first quarter.
Well, I figured I had a 50-50 chance. So, Peter, it is. 2nd and 10 now. By the way, elsewhere in college football today, the Syracuse-Georgia Tech game started more than 30 minutes late after an abundance of caution, they stated. They're waiting for a couple of Syracuse COVID tests to come back. They have just gone underway at Syracuse. Shivers with the run. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Third and medium here. This is where this Auburn team needs to be able to attack the intermediate, that 10 to 20, 10 to 25 yard range. Get guys over the middle.
Over the middle. They got him, and that's an Auburn first down.
You know what I love about this? They had 2 shorter routes in front. One of them was Anthony Schwartz to bait those linebackers. Watch this. He's going to go and run a return route right in those linebackers' face. That opens up the middle of the field. Only 10 completions for Bo Nix all of last year, Tom, in between the numbers from 10 to 25 yards. That's an area of emphasis.
Xavion Capers, a true freshman with his first round. Here's Nix stumbling forward. Going to pick up a 9.
And the reason the middle of the field, I might sound like a broken record as a quarterback sometimes talking about the middle of the field. The reason it's so important, that's where the most explosive plays after the catch occur. Your receiver has 2-way goes. He's got more space to work with. That's how you get long run after the catch.
Kentucky with a big push up front. Jamar Watson, Boogie Watson in on the stop.
Already we're seeing Chad Morris's stamp on this offense. We've got the tight end position being much more integral, play in and play out. They're attacking the middle of the field with concepts. This Auburn offense looks good so far.
Nix 5 of 9 through the air for 88 yards. They'll throw it again, and that one a little bit behind Anthony Schwartz.
Bo Nix wants it. I think this is a place where you go for it. 4th and 1. The way this game is going, you saw Kentucky go for it. Your defense came up with a stop. This is house money right now.
They've got the leg of Carlson well in his field goal range.
2 tight ends on the top of your screen there attached to the offensive line.
Kentucky drags it down. DJ Williams brought down by Square. No gain. Both teams have gone for it on 4th down, and both have come up short.
Just great penetration to blow up that run play. Tell you what, both offenses rolling the dice, going for it on 4th, and both defenses coming up with stops. We got a 1-point game on the Plains.
Full slate of SEC action today, and it is awesome. And we've already got some Gus plays going on in this one.
You got the old swinging gate. I can't tell you how many times we practiced this, and it never worked. But the defense walks too many guys out over all those offensive linemen standing over there. You catch them off guard, and a quick hit or throw to steal a point. That's Gus to a T.
Swinging gate, polecat. I feel like everybody ran that in 9th grade. Here's Kavosiey Smoke. He's already had one big run today, and he's finally forced out of bounds by Sherwood.
Boy, this is a nice double team by center Drake Jackson and left guard Kenneth Forsey. This is what you get with Drake Jackson. Leverage, feet continue to drive. You understand his hat placement. This is a young man that has every bit of awareness when it comes to angles, leverage. Assignment's not going to be an issue for this group. They played enough football that it's not even a concern, but shows you right there what you get with this Kentucky offensive line.
Jackson dropped 30 pounds during quarantine, put it back on with muscle, a good chunk of it. Said he's still able to eat at the folks' place, Smoking Jack's barbecue. Daly has nowhere to go, picks up maybe a yard. Smoke Monday there.
A great adjustment there by Auburn. That again is that 4 receivers to one side set that Eddie Gran ran earlier when Auburn over adjusted. He ran the quarterback draw. This time Auburn plays balanced and says, you know what, we're just going to let you throw that, and we're going to keep it in front of us, and we're going to tackle and rally to the football. Great adjustment already, just 1 or 2 drives later.
Smoke and Rodriguez, the running backs behind Terry Wilson. We got a flag on the play. There's still plenty of time on the play clock. Mark Stoops is 10 yards on the field wondering what the call is.
Before the snap, substitution infraction. Offense, 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down. We will go to immediate timeout.
Yeah, you can count them up there. I mean, I like the attempt, right? I mean, try to sneak a guy on there, go 12 on 11, play some Canadian football, you know.
Move the goalpost to the front of the end zone, throw another 10 yards on there. 2nd and 8 after this timeout.
Peter Burns with another studio update. We got a great one out in Oxford, Mississippi after a 50-yard run by Kadarius Toney.
And now
Trask, second touchdown of the day this time. Trevon Grimes, 14-7. Now back to the Plains with Tom, Jordan, and Cole.
All right, PB, thanks. The Ole Miss unis are sweet today, by the way.
Fire.
And Lane Kiffin is rotating quarterbacks, too. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch.
I was surprised he went with Corral. And I understand rotating both, but, man, Plumlee is special with his legs. I want to see him develop as a passer.
Ole Miss down a touchdown, but driving there. Here, Terry Wilson going deep down the sideline. Wide open for a Kentucky first down is Josh Ali. And that one's going to be a big gain of 33.
And this is just a post wheel combination. The post over the top takes the safety and the corner. Little mix up on the back end there, and that opens up the hole for the wheel. And Josh Ali, great read. And really the first time we've seen Terry Wilson push the football downfield, one of the things he does best.
Wilson's completed 7 of 10 passes. 4 of those completions have gone to Ali. Corner blitz coming. They run it with Rodriguez. Gain of 3.
Kevin Steele's already done a good job of identifying what we call Eddie Grant's flavor of the week, something he likes to do. He likes to either decide, am I going to go heavy to the field? Am I going to run to the boundary? We've seen a few runs into the boundary, a toss. We've seen some work there. Kevin Steele's answer is let's blitz the boundary when they're on that near hash. Blown up a couple plays doing that.
Ole Miss and those sweet unis just tied the game against Florida first half in Oxford. Wilson finds Rose out of the backfield. We'll see where they mark it. Nehemiah Pritchett forced him out. Third and 1. Kentucky has been sensational on third downs already today, 5 of 6.
Auburn's got their backups in at nose guard and D tackle right now on the left side of Kentucky's offensive line. Let's see if they head that direction.
Wilson hands it off. Rodriguez has to fight for it. And it looks like he picked it up. KJ Britt came up to make the stop.
Well, he picked that up, but what a play by Britt. I mean, that's a reason he's a first-team All-SEC preseason. He is instinctual and physical as a linebacker. Look how quickly he closes the ground from 5 to 6 yards deep. Once he evaluates that it's a run, he closes that in a split second to blow that play up. Unfortunately,
Sherwood got injured on that play. He's out. Jordan Peters takes his spot at safety. Wilson on play action. This is Rose out of the backfield again, and he dances out of bounds for a pickup of 8 on first down. Flag on the play, but Kentucky
Holding, offense number 88, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
They'll come backwards. It's a tight end, Keaton Upshaw. Terry Wilson, 8 of 11 through the air. Britt coming on a blitz. They throw it over his head, and he's got help behind him. And the help comes from Christian Tutt. It's a loss of 4.
boy, the second time Tutt has come from the second level to blow up a short pass. Terry Wilson does a good job of getting that ball up and down quickly, but Tutt is on it so fast. That's what you got to do in this league. The secondary players have to play at all 3 levels. That right there is playing at the first level and blowing up runs and screens. That's what you got to do from the outside.
May not have been down on the first hit. Looked like he kept his balance. Here's 2nd and 24. Wilson taken down. Terry Wilson dropped by Daquan Newkirk.
Newkirk, one of those guys that's a depth player, but he's getting some good playing time early in this game. That's a great job of getting skinny and then redirecting. At 6'3", 317, that's a big boy to put his foot in the ground and redirect to get a hand on Terry Wilson. That could have been a big play. Everyone was dropping off in zone. Wilson identified that, saw some green grass. Wasn't able to capitalize.
Like Cole on the Peloton, huh?
Yeah. Just grinding.
Auburn shows pressure from the edge again. 3rd and forever. In route, knocked incomplete. Great coverage on the back end by Jalen Simpson.
You know, Cole puts up those big numbers on the Peloton because he literally cranks it up to 100 and just grinds it out for 30 minutes. Like,
what's the problem with that?
I mean, it's not really what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, he's always had a hard time following instructions. By the way, speaking of following instructions, without the holding penalty on Keaton Upshaw would have been a much different drive. They went from about 2nd and 2 at the Auburn 22. Instead, they got backed up, and now the best punter in the country, Max Duffy, called on for the first time in this one. The reigning Ray Guy Award winner. And the Aussie is going to fit this one in, but it will trickle into the end zone. Auburn gets possession back after that 48-yard punt.
Welcome back to the loveliest village on the plains. Things are not going to be the same here in Auburn, Alabama for the season opener. There was no Tiger Walk. We had a virtual Eagle flight. Tailgating going to be limited. The crowd's limited. But what a lot of people out there don't know, Jordan and Thomas, we have our own traditions as a crew. We have things that we like to do as a crew. So I reached out to my friends over at Acre. And I told them, I said, we got a tradition when we come to Auburn, Alabama, and that is to get the best appetizer in the SEC. And yes, folks, that is chicken fried bacon.
Oh, God, you
Tom.
had to.
Tom, you got yours? Got your name on it right there, Jordan. I got that for you. Hold on.
Oh,
this is cruel and unusual.
you're dead to me, Cole. Unbelievable.
They're a farm-to-table restaurant. They're not a farm-to-sod restaurant.
One tradition that will not die. Chicken fried bacon. I ain't skipping it for you guys.
Sean Shivers with the run. Jordan, I don't know about you, but I'm not only hurt, but I'm also now suddenly hungry.
I'm also wondering
upstairs.
When that bacon was made.
Don't you worry about that.
Early this morning, you go stop by the kitchen Saturday morning?
I got pull, man. I got skills.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go upstairs and melt some cheese on my Doritos. That'll put me in a better mood.
I got a Nature Valley bar sitting here.
Listen,
I
got Mama G's waiting for me on the way out of town. Don't even worry about that.
Goodness gracious. Throw it in her face.
These over here.
Nix swings it out to his tight end, John Samuel Shanker, and he picks up 2. Tyrell Asian with the stop for Kentucky. It's going to leave 3rd and 5.
Third down 5.
Nix wants to play. Plenty of time on the play clock. Nix pulls it back. Not going to try to scramble with it. He can tuck it, but he has nowhere to go. Jamin Davis with the stop.
Well, Nix wanted to throw over the middle of the field here. The problem you run into playing Kentucky is they're so fundamentally sound. It's really tough to get them to move or to fall for the eye candy. You saw the motion there towards the field. That's eye candy. They're trying to get those linebackers to look and flow wide and hit a dig back across the middle. Great discipline by Kentucky, something they're known for and a reason they were so good against the pass last year.
Gus told us he's going to use both punters today. Hadn't had to use one yet. Now as they look at a 4th and 6, it'll be Aiden Marshall who gets the call. But a timeout taken. Auburn looking at a 4th and 6 when we return. Jordan and I looking longingly at a bald man eating bacon. Woo! Welcome back to the Marathon Conference kickoff. Jordan-Hare Stadium on a beautiful day on the plains. Temperature into the low 80s today. And by all accounts, a perfect day for football. Josh Ali back to receive this punt from Aiden Marshall.
Number 91, Oscar Chapman.
First 3 and out for Auburn in this game. No return on the Marshall punt. It'll roll to a stop outside the 35, a 41-yarder from Marshall. For today's comeback moment, supplemented by Aflac, we take you back to September 8th, 2018. Kentucky ended one of college football's longest losing streaks by upsetting number 25 Florida 27-16 in the Swamp, down 10-7 at the half. Terry Wilson with a great run, and then he goes deep with Lynn Bowden, and Kentucky wins at Florida for the first time since 1979, the first win against the Gators since '86. That was a program-defining win for Mark Stoops and for Terry Wilson. And talking with folks around the Kentucky program, Jordan, they talked about the confidence that a guy like Terry Wilson got by winning that game and performing so well.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a part of a program that had a win that was so monumental, right? At Vandy, we were terrible for a really long time, and a couple of those wins hadn't been done in 20, 30 years. That's what Terry Wilson did. There's a great sense of pride under Coach Stoops. When you take a program from nothing, you start to build it back up, and nobody more confident than Terry Wilson right now. But no reason he shouldn't be. 12-3 as a starter and has this team poised to take a big step this year as well.
A.J. Rose picks up the first down for Kentucky. Terry Wilson came out of high school in Oklahoma, committed to then offensive coordinator Scott Frost at Oregon, and showed up on campus along with another 3-star by the name of Justin Herbert. And he said as soon as everybody saw Herbert throw the ball, they went, whoa, this dude's no 3-star. He's an NFL star. Herbert now obviously in the NFL. Terry Wilson redshirted his year at Oregon, then junior college for a year to hit the reset button on his recruiting, and ended up leading Kentucky to 10 wins. On first down, it's Rose again.
And you know, Tom, usually when you have a transfer quarterback, and I was one of them, there's usually something wrong with them, right? You know, there's a reason that they transferred. They ended up at a junior college. They bounced back. Well, I'm sorry, but getting beat out by Justin Herbert, who, oh, by the way, just started an NFL game last week, that's not a bad thing. He's uber talented. All he's done everywhere he's been is win. And right now, he has Kentucky looking balanced, something we didn't see last year, and balance is dangerous for any defense that faces Kentucky.
This is a 2nd and 7. You mentioned it. A lot of times you see a guy go the JUCO route. There's an imperfection with them one way or another. We got shoes flying off, and this one is incomplete. So what was your imperfection? Or should I share with everybody what I think?
There's no foul for
I didn't have great arm strength, Tom. That's the reason I didn't get a big offer out of high school. It's the reason I kind of fought for a starting job everywhere I was. I was accurate, and I was okay, but I didn't have a rocket arm. And Terry Wilson has a very talented arm, so I'm surprised that anybody watching Justin Herbert didn't think, oh, hey, this other guy can really spin it as well.
After the third throwaway, 3rd and 7 now. They've converted 6 of 8. Play clock at 6.
Good job in the 4-minute offense, though, taking every second of that play clock.
With 1 tick left, they get the snap away. Wilson over the middle. Caught! First down, Kentucky in a sprint. Daly caught from behind, and a Kentucky first down with 2:10 to go. It goes for 39 yards.
This is a big-time throw. 3rd and 7. Terry Wilson stands strong in the pocket, looking right, looks left to see who's ahead of this guy. Allen Daly, nobody. Let me put it on him for a big-time gain.
First and 10 from the 12.
Smoke Monday dragged him down.
Really good protection that time, because the previous play, Derek Hall rushing off the edge, almost got to Terry Wilson and blew up that play. That time, Wilson had a pocket that he could step up in and deliver.
Wilson's going to keep it. And he gets to the edge for a gain of 4. This is a huge drive for Kentucky. 1:34 to go in the half, looking to reclaim the lead, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. Auburn's defense in the red zone has been one of the best under Kevin Steele. Rodriguez up the middle. They allow fewer than 50% red zone drives to end in a touchdown. They're tied for Wisconsin for the best number since Kevin Steele has been the defensive coordinator. Those are the only 2 programs that are better than 50%. And Gus will take a timeout. 14 remaining in the first half. Kentucky threatening, looking at a 3rd and 1.
What's up, y'all? Coming up on the Farm Bridge Halftime Report, Peter Burns, Gene Chizik, Chris Story. We'll get you an update on Derek Stingley Jr. may not play for LSU in their game against Mississippi State. Also a Florida Ole Miss highlight. And what do you see so far?
There was some concern about Terry Wilson having some rust. No rust so far, Chip. No, offense is tearing it up on 3rd downs.
Cole, send bacon, please.
Yeah, Stingley will be the story of the day in the SEC. Became acutely ill last night, evaluated overnight in the hospital, not COVID related. I would be shocked if he plays in that one tonight, and LSU might be missing the best defensive player in the nation. 3rd and 1 for Kentucky. Chris Rodriguez takes a wildcat snap, needs 1, maybe got it. Let's see where they mark it. Tyrone Truesdale, the first one there. First down, Kentucky, and they got a fresh set of downs with 1:05 to go from inside the 2. Remember JoJo Kemp at running back for Kentucky? They ran Wildcat nonstop with JoJo.
I was going to say, I'd run it back here. How many times did we see this last year?
This is what the offense was. Straight ahead, shoved to the goal line, touchdown Kentucky, and the Cats back in front. Hold on a second. They did not signal touchdown. Jacoby McClain had to stop right inside the goal line. Oh, how was that ball not over the goal line?
I think they said Kentucky called the timeout. It was definitely over the goal line. I mean, he's not down. He's still moving forward.
And Coach Stoops is all the way out on the numbers.
Yeah, he did not look happy.
Timeout, Kentucky.
Wow.
Yeah, his whole body was across the goal line. Got no forward progress. Stop.
The ball carrier short of the goal line. The previous play is under further review.
Okay. They will review it.
And I wonder if they thought his knee goes down. When he first gets contact here, his knee dips. It doesn't touch the ground, but I wonder if the ref saw that and thought he was down. See, I'm talking about right here. He hits contact. The knee goes lower, but it doesn't touch the ground. I think he keeps going forward, though. This should be an easy call. Watch right here. Oh, man, it's close.
But Jordan, they did not blow the whistle for the knee possibly being down at the 2. They said he was stopped. The way the line judge came in had him watch the guy at the pylon at the top of your screen. That's a touchdown every day.
Yeah, to me, there's more of a question on the knee than there is on the forward progress. It's close there. I'll tell you what, the more I look at it, the more I'm not sure about his knee now. I mean, the forward progress is a no-brainer. I think that's a touchdown, but that knee looked close. Obviously, I don't think there's enough to just say
it's a little
it
bit more difficult to see over a Zoom call, but
yeah,
they've got the benefit of high definition at the stadium. And
Tom, I'm like 5 inches away from my monitor right now. Like, my eyes are just seared. I'm like, I can't tell. It's so you at home maybe have a better view than my computer to monitor right now. Yeah, I don't think you could say it was down there. And to me, his forward progress has not stopped until, or slowed even until that ball's over.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Second down.
So unable to confirm either way. They say it stands, and that'll be second and goal. Let's see where they mark it, though. If they mark it, if it's about the 2, it'll be the knee. If it's outside the goal line, they miss the call.
See, it's inside the 1. That, to me, that's the wrong call then. I think you could have looked at that and said clearly that ball, and most of his body, if not all of his body, is over the goal line. But we'll see if it matters here. Ball never lies, Tom. Remember basketball, front yard, pickup. Here we go. QB sneak.
Quarterback sneak.
Ooh.
They bend Terry Wilson backwards, and they say he's stopped short again. That will leave 3rd and goal. Kentucky has a pair of timeouts. If they need to use one, then they will here.
Defensive line by Auburn. Can't even tell who's in there, but they stymied any interior push by Kentucky.
Yeah, actually looked like TD Moultrie, 99, sort of pinching down, coming in and maybe causing a little garbage around the feet of Terry Wilson.
Truesdell there, too. You know what he did? He held up. I think it was Drake Jackson, the center. Didn't let him get down to his knees. He literally just holding him up and stopping that push.
So Kentucky can't punch this in. What a huge call that was on 2nd down to rule that Rodriguez never broke the plane. I thought it was evident whether you're watching it over a Zoom call or a 70-inch high-def screen. So it leaves 3rd and goal now.
Is known to love the tight end pop pass. Tom, is this a place where we see a fake quarterback run or an inside draw or an inside handoff that turns out to be a pop pass to the tight end right
here? 11th play of the drive. Wilson looking to throw into the end zone. It is intercepted by Auburn. Kentucky gets no points. McCreary's got the sideline, and what a turn of events. Terry Wilson can't bring him down. 100-yard interception return for a touchdown for Roger McCreary.
Wow. And there you go. That is why Kevin Steele is one of the best in the business. The shorter the field gets, the better his defense becomes. And McCreary does a great job there of being physical on the outside and then keeping his eyes on the quarterback. Because the quarterback outside the pocket is now a threat to run. It puts cornerbacks in a difficult position, but he played that one brilliantly.
Well, that'll brighten your day if you're an Auburn fan.
Wow.
Should have been 6 one way, turns into 6 the other way. And Anders Carlson of the legendary Carlson brothers on to attempt the point after.
The previous play is under further review.
They are reviewing the play, as they do every scoring play. Let's see what in particular they could be looking at. Perhaps if he stepped up bounds on the sideline.
Try to lead Chris Rodriguez into the flat there. McCreary does a great job being physical with Josh Ali, which allows him to get his eyes inside and see that Wilson's trying to force the ball. And now watch his feet. Wilson nearly makes a tackle. Let's see if he catches any of the white. Oh, that's a touchdown.
What a turn of events.
Tom, think about this. I mean, Kentucky's going to get the ball at half. If they score there, they go up 14-8, and they get the ball back after controlling the ball over 12 minutes, almost 12 minutes more than Auburn in that first half. And instead, they're going to be down a touchdown to start the second half. That is monumental for this game that's been back and forth, yet controlled on the ground and controlled on the clock by Kentucky.
Well, even if you don't get the touchdown, you're still getting 3 points, and you're going into the locker room likely with the lead with getting the ball back.
Yeah. Again, go back to the Chris Rodriguez run. I think that's one that was missed. I think it was a touchdown by Chris Rodriguez. Obviously, you can't change the pass now, but
Gus is not happy. After reviewing this interception return, they've found targeting. And it's going to go against Auburn.
Looks like that's going to be Derek Hall. Yeah. Think of it. It's a defenseless player. So it doesn't have to be crown to the helmet. A defenseless player, if you are contacted in the head or the neck area, and there's an indicator. There is an indicator there.
During the return, number 29 for Auburn committed a targeting foul. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from that spot. It'll be first down Auburn. Number 29 is disqualified.
Think about it, Gus is not happy, but that's the right call. Defenseless players in college football are overprotected, as they should be, for the health and safety of this game, so it doesn't have to be crown of the helmet. If you're coming from out of the line of sight of a guy on a change of possession, that means it deems him defenseless, and any attack or lowering of the head or forcible contact to the head or neck or even sometimes that upper shoulder area is deemed targeting, and that's the right call there. That's just football in this day and age. Back in the day, everyone's going crazy on the sidelines and celebrating this big peel back block. But in this day and age, you got to be more careful and find a way to wall a defender off instead of that type of contact.
Touchdown taken off the board. It's a 1-point game again. What a swing in about a 10-minute span. And Gus is not happy. You can't hide the anger behind the mask. You got Barkley in the background on the playboard. He said this would be no threat. Well, Kentucky's been a threat.
And McGregor there on the board too is going, hey, what's wrong with that? I'm going to say something else that was a little more colorful, but
Nix took a knee, shoved the ball away. A frustrating end of the half for both teams. Kentucky thought they had a touchdown. They never got it. Auburn thought they had a pick six. Didn't happen, and one of the best players ejected. Let's get to the studio. Here's PB and the boys.
Welcome to the Farm Ranch.
Welcome back to SEC football, presented by Allstate as part of Marathon Conference Kickoff. Getting ready to start the third quarter. It's a 1-point game between a pair of top 25 teams, and what a turn of events to close the first half. And this, Jordan, is what this game has swung on not once but twice. Let's take a closer look at our protection spotlight, brought to you by Allstate.
Yeah, this is the play here. Chris Rodriguez, they ruled him down by forward progress. Really, I think it's the wrong spot. They spotted it inside the one. It's either got to be on the 1-inch yard line or the 1/2 yard line if they're saying his knee was down, but he was not stopped, in my opinion, by forward progress. Should have been a touchdown. In the very next play, a pick six, which ends up getting called back for a targeting call right there. Man, if you're Kentucky, you should be mad for a missed call. If you're Auburn, you should be frustrated because that's not a missed call. That's a bad mental mistake.
And here's Gus Malzahn talking about his frustration.
You're obviously frustrated about that penalty at the end of the half.
I don't know. I hope it was a common sense deal, because that was a big-time play right there.
Take us back through the play, though. How does that change the momentum of what Kentucky?
Well, we're up 8-7. They were about to score. We made a game-changing play. It was a touchdown. They called it back. So I hope like crazy that's a common sense call.
Thank you, Coach.
And by all accounts, as we looked at the targeting foul, it was the right call. But the play was initially reviewed to see if they had stepped out of bounds, if McCreary had stepped out of bounds on the return. But both teams had touchdowns taken off the board, not in the literal sense. Kentucky's was never ruled a touchdown. Zach Johnson on the return, and he'll bring it out. And Johnson bottled up at the 25-yard line. Cole Cubelic talked with head coach Mark Stoops of Kentucky. Cole?
Tom, pretty simple message from Coach Stoops. He said, I preached to you guys when we met with you yesterday. I've talked to my team this entire offseason. We cannot afford to beat ourselves. He feels like all in all, Kentucky's playing great football. Situationally, they must be better. He referenced the holding penalty that forced Kentucky to punt, and then obviously the interception there before the half. He said, we must focus more in our situational football mindset throughout the rest of this game.
And Jordan, I guess we shouldn't be surprised if there's some rust here first game of the season.
Hey, think about the offseason that these players and coaches went through. No spring, no summer, a lot of Zoom meetings. I mean, mentally they were prepared, but physical mistakes happen when you're going full speed. You expect to see some of that week one.
A.J. Rose sees nothing. It's a loss of 2 on first down. Colby Wooden took him down. Remember, Auburn missing Derek Hall from the buck position, ejected for the targeting call.
And that's big, Tom. I mean, we talked to Kevin Steele yesterday. His biggest question mark for this team was who was going to emerge as a pass rushing force off the edge. Derek Hall, T.D. Moultrie, Big Cat Bryant, Big Cat slowed by an ankle. Hall now out. Onus is on T.D. Moultrie off the edge now.
Terry Wilson fits it in for a gain of 4. Quick hit, Smoke Monday.
Tell you what, these Auburn defensive backs are flying around. And this is a strong unit. There were question marks, not a ton of experience, some on the back end, but for the pieces that they lost, Jeremiah Dinson and Daniel Thomas off last year, we thought this may be an area of weakness. To me, this is a strength of this Auburn defense right now.
First possession, second half, 3rd down, 8 for Kentucky. Wilson overthrew his tight end Justin Rigg, and that'll force 4th down. Jordan Peters with the coverage.
Getting off the field, stopping Kentucky. I mean, they controlled the ball for 21 minutes to Auburn's just under 9 minutes in the first half. That's the type of game Kentucky wants. They want to slow this game down, control it on the ground, pick their moments through the air. Auburn has got to get 3 and outs, and now they have to be explosive on offense and get points, move the ball, and control the football.
For 3 and out for Kentucky. Duffy. And Christian Tutt won't have a chance for a return, and that's why he was a Ray Guy Award winner last year. It'll roll inside the 25, a 53-yard punt. Bo Nix, first half, 6 of 11 for 90 yards. How much different did this Auburn offense look to you this year versus years prior?
I think at times you saw Chad Morris's imprint with the tight end position, with some of the concepts that took Bo over the middle, but still a lot of short, quick passes to the outside that aren't being super effective off of the zone read. I want to see Bo operate from the pocket and throw the ball to the intermediate area of the field, because he can do it, and they can be dangerous with Schwartz and Williams on the outside doing that.
Schwartz was covered. Nix tries to run straight ahead, picks up just a yard. Jordan Wright with the stop for Kentucky. We talked with Auburn offensive coordinator Chad Morris about this Kentucky defense led by coordinator Brad White, and he said they are really simple. They don't try to complicate things. They don't get in their own way, and they are solid. Nix. First down and more for Auburn on the completion to Seth Williams.
Love this. Again, trying to push the ball downfield, a few short routes, draw the eyes of the underneath defenders to open up that window from 15 to 25 yards. Watch the outside receiver stop, and Seth Williams, look at that. It slows down both those guys, and it opens up that hole for Seth Williams down the middle of the field.
On first down, they'll run it with Shivers. He gets 2.
Jordan, I'll tell you one thing Auburn fans have to be excited to see is Bo Nix in just a straight drop back, not necessarily passing off of a play action every time.
He's good from the pocket. I feel like a lot of people didn't think that when you just look at his completion percentage, where you say he needs to be up over 60. Well, he needs more opportunities to do just that. Throw from the pocket.
Talking with Bo yesterday, asked him how he would grade his last season, and he said, listen, it was far from perfect. The bar that he has set for himself is obviously high, and he knows that there's a lot of growth that he can make this season. But he was thrilled with what Chad Morris has presented within this new look Auburn offense and the chance to read safeties. And he talked about it as if that was something that he didn't do much of last season.
I think as a true freshman, the coach tries to limit where your eyes go. They want you to play fast, so they try to take some off your plate.
On 3rd and 8, he's pressured again, and that one will float incomplete. And Auburn's going to go 3 and out.
This time, good job by Kentucky here. Nothing fancy, just an inside stunt on the outside by Josh Paschal. Breaks the pocket enough to cause Bo Nix to run to his left, which is what you want to do.
So they keep the offense on the field in plus territory. Remember, he punted it already once today. I said 3 and out. That was wrong. They picked up a first down clear on the play to Williams. And it looks like Bo Nix is going to pooch another one. He'll take his time to do so. He'll allow the coverage team a run down there. And what a fantastic play. Eli Stowe downs it inside the 2. 40-yard punt for the quarterback, Bo Nix.
Welcome back to the Marathon Conference Kickoff.
SEC football coming your way today. Number 4, Georgia heads to Arkansas, 4 o'clock Eastern. Tennessee and South Carolina in the primetime spot. And on the SEC alternate channel, you'll get Calamon at Texas A&M playing host to Vanderbilt. You got J-Raj.
Be interesting to see Texas A&M in that night slot. You know, they're missing a lot of pieces from opt-outs to injuries. I thought this was a year they could take the next step. I want to see if Calamon can do that, because they could be a force in the West if they put it together.
Operating out of the end zone, Kavosiey Smoke gets out of the end zone. No gain, though. That'll leave 2nd and 10. Big Cat Bryant in on the tackle. He's been limited due to an ankle injury today. Still waiting to hit his potential. Number 1 on the edge for Auburn in the point stance. Again, did he get out? No sign from the officials. All he has to do, it's kind of like getting into the end zone. All you have to do is get the nose of the football over the front of the plane. You don't have to get it all the way across the goal line.
Watch 94 right there. Tyrone Truesdale, he's really filling that spot that Derek Brown occupied last year as being a disruptor. Look, he's not going to get anything in the stat column for that, but he forced the running back outside his lane on that one by blowing it up on the inside. That's the type of production they need out of this defensive front 3. 94 looks really good, though.
I spoke that incorrectly. You got to get the entire football out of the end zone. And he did. Wilson behind the letters, lets this one go deep down the hash, incomplete. And the defense is with the advantage here since they came out of the locker room. Josh Ali, the intended receiver.
Well, that's an interesting call there. Not sure if it was designed to take a monster shot there, but you're going to have to punt out of the shadow of your own goalpost right now. I would have thought maybe get a run, a draw, a quick pass play to hope to get 3 or 4 and give yourself some breathing room. At the least, Max Duffy is going to have to get this one off quick.
Didn't have a single 3 and out in the first half. Consecutive 3 and outs here. Jarius Johnson waits to return. Duffy best in the country last year. He stays straight on with this one.
Oh, that's a great punt.
He goes unfielded and goes all the way to about the 24.
I mean, it looked like he hardly hit that one, and he boomed it.
75-yard punt for Max Duffy.
That's a weapon. I tell you what, Bo Nix had a couple good punts today, but that's not what Auburn needs out of him most. It's attacking down the field and creating explosive plays. You saw it a few times, but this offense has stalled a little bit as of late. I love the opportunity that Chad is giving Bo Nix to operate from the pocket and attack the middle of the field. Just need to see a little bit more of it. Find Anthony Schwartz.
Nix off his back foot, lobs it and hauls it in to Seth Williams. Gain of 25.
I tell you what, I was holding my breath. Anytime you see a quarterback fading away, pumping it, and then throwing it up with a lot of air, you never know, but it's a great job by Seth Williams.
Kentucky was offsides. That'll be declined. And Seth Williams has his second big catch of this quarter.
The completion picked up 25 yards.
And that's just a great relationship they have, because that's not where Seth Williams was supposed to end up on that route. He was running towards the middle of the field, but he sees his quarterback start to escape, and he mirrors him. The best receiver quarterback duos have that type of relationship. When the play breaks down, that's when an offense can be truly dangerous on those second reaction plays.
Williams with 97 yards receiving. Here's Tank Bigsby. Pass midfield, gain of 2.
Number 4, Tank Bigsby. Carries around right now. Second down each.
Nix touched from behind, and the out route is complete. They pick up an Auburn first down to Eli Stove.
I tell you what, that's so tough to do. I mean, that is a true test of the arm talent you have as a quarterback. He had a defender wrapped around his legs, couldn't get his lower body into it, was still able to get the velocity on that football to complete that pass. Bo Nix has a ton of talent. He's going to put it together. We forget how raw true freshmen usually are. He set our expectations pretty high early last year.
Here's Bigsby again. Second best run of pass attempts without an interception in the country, behind only Trevor Lawrence for Bo Nix.
Second down.
Extracurriculars. Wide receivers and defensive backs have never gotten along in the history of football. And they've told each other about it every day.
They love to tell each other about it. Oh, yeah. It's kind of like offensive linemen always like to tell us how athletic they are or how good their hands are. And we just go, yeah. Just put that hand in the ground and block, okay?
Kelvin Joseph, the LSU transfer.
It's not really true, because we're usually too tired to do a lot of chirping on the field. So trying to catch your breath.
Or you got full of bacon.
There are two fouls on the play. For the snap, false start, number 80, offense. Also after the play, we had a personal foul, number 1 for the defense. We'll penalize 5 yards, and then we'll penalize 15 with automatic first down.
So the net is a 10-yard gain for Auburn and an automatic first down. There's the movement. And Kelvin Joseph wanted to tell him about it, and you can't do that.
Yeah. I've talked a ton about Kelvin Joseph. He had the LSU transfer, sat out last year. Extremely talented on the outside, and he's been itching to get some action, but leave it between the whistles.
First and 10 from the 22.
I mean, that could be a costly penalty. He's just not using his head. Tank Bigsby It's a running back. We got movement. Left side of the line looks like Alec Jackson.
False start. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Interesting talking with Gus Malzahn and Chad Morris yesterday. They pointed out that the offensive line hasn't had all 5 players together over 6 weeks, 6-week period. They've been mixing and matching the whole time.
Yeah, Gus actually emphasized that to me again before the game, saying we have not gone a single week of practice and had the same 5 offensive linemen for that week of practice.
Nix pressured, steps up from the pressure, got a blocker in front, and that'll get him a couple more yards. Nick Brahms was leaking downfield. It's a gain of 13. They're going to go tempo.
That's a lack of experience Cole was talking about. 1 returning starter. Now you're in the 3rd quarter. Fatigue is setting in. That's when experience lends itself to success, because without it, your mind gets a little foggy, mental mistakes happen, you get sloppy with your technique, especially in week 1. Conditioning's not there. Experience plays a big part.
Left side run. Bigsby with the first down. Bill Hoskins the tackle.
Bigsby's going to be an interesting guy to see how much he gets in the mix in this Auburn running back really trio with Shivers and DJ Williams. You know, speaking to Chad Morris, this is a guy that is 100% full speed all the time. It's like we got to get him to slow down now and be patient in the run game. But I tell you what, when he hits it, if there's a hole, he's gone.
Nix, fade, end zone Williams, jump ball, and he was out of bounds, incomplete. Joseph with the coverage, they're still talking.
It's just a 50-50 ball. I used to love these calls. Get your best guy in one-on-one coverage and give him a chance, but great job by Kelvin Joseph of walling with your hip and your back the wide receiver towards the sideline. Use that sideline as another defender and get him out of the space. Great job.
On 2nd and goal, Bigsby hit in the backfield. He'll lose a yard or 2. Josh Paschal, first man there for the Cats.
Paschal moved from outside linebacker to this field D end. They really need him to be a force in the run. He's not quite the body type they're used to having there. Used to having a little bigger body type there, but he's also one of the strongest guys on the team, so he's going to fill out that position to stop the run towards the field very nicely.
They're 1 of 5 on 3rd down. First 3rd down stride. Nix back foot, end zone, touchdown Seth Williams. 6'3", and he went up to get it.
An absolute dime by Bo Nix. Down in the red zone, one of the most important things is accuracy. Throw the ball where only your receiver can get it. You got a guy like Seth Williams who's 6'3", 210, throws this on a rope. Only where his guy can get it in between 2 defenders. That is a big-time play by that duo.
Carlson's point after. This time they kick it, and Auburn has an 8-point advantage. 5:42 to go in the 3rd.
It hasn't been smooth. It's been stop and go at times, but when you need a play, just like last year, Bo Nix will deliver to his #1 target, Seth Williams, and they got the lead.
Time for another studio update out in Oxford. Gene Chizik, you've called it, that Kyle Pitts and Kyle Trask have a little bromance going on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 6'6", 250. They'll put him in the seam on this one right now. You can't cover him one-on-one with a guy. You got to put a safety over the top.
5th touchdown pass for Trask, 3rd for Pitts, but how about Ole Miss?
Well, Lane Kiffin inherited a talented bunch of sophomores here. There's one, Jerrion Ely, keeping Ole Miss in the ballgame.
Gators up 14, back to Tom. Jordan Cole.
All right, gang, great to see you again. Great to have SEC football back. And here, number 8 Auburn with a 15-7 lead over 23rd ranked Kentucky. A lot of play calls that Bo Nix likes on that play sheet. Zach Johnson back to receive. Anders Carlson to kick it away. Johnson from about the 4. And taken down on the hit from Papo. Let's take a look at the smoothest play brought to you by Velveeta.
I want to see some smooth confidence. Watch this play by Bo Nix. Look when he releases this football. Tyrell Agen, the defender, number 23, is standing looking right at him. I mean, this ball goes right over his head. The trust that Bo Nix has to throw this ball what must be almost 10 feet in the air, right where Seth Williams can get it, with a defender staring him down. That's a big-time throw.
I think Bruce Pearl just sent a text to Gus Malzahn. Is, hey, is 18 busy in the winter? Terry Wilson throws this one away. What has happened to the Kentucky offense this half?
Well, they just out of rhythm, right? I mean, they're not getting the 6-7 yard runs. The consistency to which they did in the first and early second quarter, which means that the intermediate passing game and even the short passing game is not there the same as it was early in this ball game for Terry Wilson. They got to get the running game going more to set up Terry Wilson through the air.
They have not gotten it done on first down. Wilson trying to get the yardage back on second, and he may have slid a yard early. The last 3 first downs for Kentucky, -2, 0, and 0 yards. 3rd and 1 now.
Let's go back to that zone read. Oh, here we go. Just 4 by 1. Excuse me, 4 receivers at one side. See how Auburn adjust. They're going to run left here.
Rodriguez does that, needs just 1 yard. He's got it. What gave you that idea?
Well, it's just what Eddie Gran wants to do. He wants to put 4 receivers out, and he wants to see how the defense responds. The defense walked the linebacker out, which means only 5 were in the box, and the left side gets vacated, right? I mean, you don't worry about that corner at 7 yards deep. You only need 2 or 3. So if you can vacate those linebackers from the box, great. If not, then you throw a quick throw to the right, and you got numbers 4 on 3.
Same formation, this time Wilson to throw. Looking right and looking deep, and caught, but was he inbounds or not? They'll confer. Incomplete. They say Ali was out of bounds.
We see that replay because he drug his foot. Here's that left foot on. Oh, nope. Yeah, first live, it looked like he was dragging the right foot earlier than he was, but that comes off the ground. So it's a great call by those officials there down the line.
Haven't seen a ton of pass rush. 0 Owen Pappoe. He's the guy that Kevin Steele wants to use in more pressure situations this year.
Pappoe dropping coverage this time. Catch made on the perimeter. Chance to dance for the first down for Kentucky's Akeem Hayes. Pickup of 16.
Akeem Hayes. The gate is 16. First down from the 45.
Pickup for Kentucky with 4:04 to go in the 3rd quarter as they try to find some rhythm for their offense. They're going to razzle dazzle. Looking to throw on the reverse to Wilson. Incomplete. Josh Ali was so anxious to get rid of it, he didn't realize that Wilson was drifting towards the sideline.
A little bit of what, Philly special here. A wrinkle of that. Double reverse, trying to throw it back to the quarterback. It's a great job recovering there on the outside of the Auburn defender.
That was T.D. Moultrie.
Yeah, Moultrie there.
They go 5 wide here on 2nd and 10. To the screen. And to Marcus Harris. Redshirt freshman from Vero Beach, Florida, picks up 6.
There's that same kind of principle. They have a stack of 3 receivers. Auburn only walks 2 guys out there, so you have numbers. You simplify it for Terry Wilson. Just count. Do we have numbers? Is it 3 over 3 or is it 2 over 3? If it is, throw it. If not, we got a run play attached. Simplifying things for a quarterback that took a year off. I think that's great. Great job by Eddie Grant.
Everybody will look over. 3rd down 4. Auburn on the run before the snap. Out to Rose. He's wide open, and A.J. Rose takes it inside the 20. 24-yard gain.
This has been a problem for Auburn. This is the 2nd or 3rd time that Rose has snuck out from the backfield, crossing the line of scrimmage, and the Auburn linebackers haven't picked up that split float. A lot of times that'll be a fake zone read, and they'll boot the other way with Wilson. But right now, Eddie Grant likes getting his running backs on the edge, and I don't think he is very confident that Auburn's linebackers can cover that right now.
Rodriguez and Smoke in the backfield. Off play action, looking for the wheel route. They go to Rig in the big rig. 6'4", 263, taken out by T.J. Britt.
Number 33, T.J. Britt. 2nd down 7.
This will be the 10th play of the drive. This Kentucky team is eating clock, trailing by 8.
Auburn's bringing pressure off the edge.
Kentucky runs the other way. Rodriguez picks up 3.
Nice block outside. Left tackle Landon Young, 67. We know it was an interesting offseason, guys, but none may be more interesting than Landon Young, who worked out on his family's farm and how he stayed in shape and decided to basically build his own weight rack out of wood.
3rd down 4 for Kentucky inside the 10. Use all the push they can get here.
Auburn showing pressure. I think they're going to drop out of this and play a soft zone as Kentucky adjusts.
They bring the backers. It is caught. Touchdown Kentucky. 8-yard strike to Akeem Hayes. They're going to go for 2.
That's the dilemma you get in when the offense does that check with me, where they see and get a picture of the defense. They look to the sidelines. They change it. Does the defense change? You can't get into a habit of changing every time, but then you're giving the offense an advantage. Right there, they saw pressure. I thought Auburn might check out of it and drop back. They don't, and it's a one-on-one slant on the outside. It's very difficult for a DB on an island.
You like the idea that they're going for 2 here?
Yeah, I do. Why not? Even if you don't get it, field goal still takes a lead.
Wilson rolls. And he threw it away. No reason to throw it away on a 2-point conversion. Mark Stoops' team fails to convert the point after they trail by 2 with a minute to go in the 3rd. Tonight, the premiere of SEC football final. Dari with Chiz and Doring. Roman Harper will stop by. He's got a long day. Take you through the biggest stories from the day and break all the games down. 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app.
You know what would have been a good name for that?
Yeah, what's that?
SEC, like, I don't know, the weekend or something? You know, wrap up the weekend's, you know, games.
Yeah, just a thought.
I'm just here in my home office. Forget about that.
Tank Bigsby will not return. We have a break in the action. Let's throw it to Laura Rutledge and our friends at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Man, shopping at Academy is such an experience. It's like fun you didn't even know you needed. All over the place. It's everywhere. What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So help me if you want to.
Minute to go in the third. Bo Nix 10 of 18 for 170 yards. And they swing it outside to Stove. Stove stays on his feet for a first down inside past the 40, I should say, gain of 17. They go the opposite way now. It's Stove again, this time 5.
Two good drive starters there. For Kentucky, watch out for that pump and go now. It's a couple times. I don't expect they'll come to it right now, but in a couple plays, they're going to pump one of those screens and try to hit a big play downfield.
Schwartz, number 1 in the slot, with their obvious deep threat as he motions to the backfield. Game clock at 1, and they don't get the play off. That'll take us to the 4th. Closer than the experts expected. Number 8 Auburn 15. Number 23 Kentucky 13. The difference in this one, a couple of calls in the second quarter and a missed 2-point conversion for Kentucky. To the 4th we go on the opening weekend of SEC play. SEC football is presented by Allstate as part of Marathon Conference Kickoff. And as we break this thing down by quarters, look at the number 8 in the first quarter. Auburn, after their first touchdown, did this.
And you never see this work, Tom. A lot of teams will line up in this just to test the defense one time, see what they do. But I can't remember the last time I saw a team actually execute the throw off of that.
Ball got on the ground on the snap, and Kentucky comes up with a huge play from Josh Paschal. It's a loss of 9. So that 2-point conversion could be the difference coming into it, but Kentucky's defense with a monster play to start the 4th.
And again, 4th quarter, week 1. You had a weird offseason, not much working out in the spring and the summer, at least not what you're traditionally used to, and a lot of the fall camp was spent mentally getting these teams ready. I think conditioning is going to be a big factor in the 4th quarter here, and when your conditioning isn't where it's supposed to be, mental mistakes happen.
4-man rush for Kentucky. Nix incomplete, and Auburn's going to punt it away.
You know, when you watch film on a quarterback, I think you start to see tendencies. You know, something I think Chad's going to sit down with Bo Nix after this week and talk about is just his tendency to always escape right out of the pocket. And sometimes a little early. Look, I'm never going to fault a quarterback because you don't want to tell a quarterback he's seeing it wrong or he's escaping too early. You know, you want him to play instinctively, but Bo Nix always escapes to that right side. And that becomes a habit or a crutch sometimes, and you've seen negative plays happen when he does that. Maybe he leaves the pocket too early.
Here's Josh Ali to the 25-yard line. Well, there's some haters out there this week with Kentucky football. Let's take you back to Monday Night Football and what Charles Barkley had to say about this.
Hey, Charles, you got SEC football this weekend. Your Auburn Tigers got a tough match with Kentucky this week.
Listen, things are never that bad. We're going to kill Kentucky. I'm worried about Georgia next week. Come on, man. This is not basketball. We're not going to worry about Kentucky and football. Stop it, Herbie.
Okay, man. All right.
Okay. I hope Stoops is watching this interview and getting the troops fired up for that game.
Exactly.
It's almost a common theme among the Auburn faithful in this rarely played series that maybe weren't aware of what Kentucky can do. Wilson chased from the pocket, and his stiff arm gets him back to the line of scrimmage.
And I tell you what, Tom, that's a terrible, terrible take right now. If you're looking at his scoreboard, it's a 2-point game. You completely overlook Kentucky. That's terrible, man.
That is a terrible Barkley impersonation. Cole, I mean, it's awful. Cole, why don't the Auburn faithful see the dangers in this Kentucky program?
Probably the same reason that many Kentucky basketball fans wouldn't have seen the danger in a Bruce Pearl coach basketball team the last few years. Just a logo thing. It's a tradition. It's a history thing. And a lot of times you don't pay close attention to what another team's capable of. We take a lot of calls, a lot of Twitter responses on three-man front on jocks in Birmingham every day. And the constant theme the entire last 2 weeks was that most people who are Auburn fans just did not believe Kentucky could come win this game. Overall athletic ability, overall talent, overall recruiting, no matter what had to be replaced, Kentucky just wasn't going to be able to beat Auburn.
Well, if history was the indicator, they would be right. In this series, Kentucky is 114-1 against a ranked Auburn team. The only victory coming in 1964, and that was in Lexington. 3rd and 5, big one for the Cats.
Keep an eye on number 6 there, Josh Ali in the slot. He's a go-to guy. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie draws up something to get him the ball.
Play clock winding down. Whistles before it happened. Did Kentucky get a timeout?
Before the snap, timeout Kentucky. Their first of the half.
Oddly enough, they didn't need it. The play was rolling before the clock hit 0, but this is a big one. 3rd and 5. Third down 5, Jordan. What do you like?
Well, I like a quick pass, finding a guy like Josh Ali. But if you're Terry Wilson, and I hope Eddie Grant told him, be careful with the football. Do not take a sack. Throw it away if you need to. We're in field goal range, and that would put us up. So be smart with the football.
I go zone read right at Big Cat Bryant. Maybe even leave a pop option here, a pop option open to the wide side of the field.
That's safe, and they've been running that well.
Number 1 on the bottom of the formation for Auburn's D-line.
Yeah, they should go zone right.
Wilson's going to take it himself. Needs 5. Lost the football. Scooped up by Auburn, and the Tigers with the takeaway. It's Sherwood from his safety spot.
That was the weakness in the defense. I said zone right. They go quarterback, run right. That was the area they needed to. But, man, one thing, when you haven't played in over a year, ball security is not at the forefront of your mind. This can't happen. And the ball just gets loose. Couldn't tell if it got hit out or if it just slipped out of Terry Wilson's hands. But either way, that is a monumental mistake in field goal range, even if he doesn't pick up that first down to take the lead.
Eddie Grant looking at Terry Wilson with head coach Mark Stoops. What a play by Sherwood. Taking advantage. DJ Williams in at tailback. It's his carry around the end, and he takes it all the way down to the 15. Pickup of 8.
Well, this game has just had some back and forth, big play, big moments that have changed the landscape of this game. Let's see if Auburn can capitalize on this one this time.
Nick swings it to the outside, and Anthony Schwartz, the sprinter, has the sideline and gets taken down at the 5 by Brandon Nichols. 10-yard gain.
This is why he's got to feed this guy as much as possible. Anthony Schwartz, I mean, it's an extension of the run game. It's a quick throw, but he puts 1 foot in the ground, and he is faster than almost everybody in the entire country. He's going to beat you around the corner. Well, moving forward, if I'm Bo, I'm getting Anthony Schwartz the football as much as possible.
Only the 3rd catch of the day for Schwartz. DJ Williams, the tailback. Shovers was getting his ankle taped after that previous fumble. And a trip over the yard line. DJ Williams has no gain. That'll leave 3rd and goal. Pardon me, 2nd and goal after this.
The play loses 1 yard. Second down from the 7.
Tight end number 89, J.J. Pegues, the true freshman, 300-pound tight end. He's also athletic. Watch him if they decide to play action, leaking in the flats. He's a guy that can do something with the ball in his hands.
Trying to find some daylight. DJ Williams picks up 3. And now 3rd and goal. Pegues, the 300-pound tight end, ran Wildcat quarterback at Oxford High School in Mississippi. He learned to throw watching Cam Newton play for Auburn. He says, that big dude can throw it, then I can throw too.
He's an athlete for sure. I mean, does not move like a 300-pounder.
Fade. Caught! Seth Williams can go get it, and that time it goes over the top of Joseph. That's slap to the receiver.
I might need to move him up in my receiver rankings in the conference. I had him at number 5, but this guy is special. When we talk about a 50-50 mismatch, no matter who it's on, that's Kelvin Joseph, who's a heck of a corner out there, number 1 for Kentucky, and not a great ball. Seth Williams has to reach over the top of the defender, but still snatches it away. That's a special player out there.
Auburn needs just 2 minutes and 13 seconds. They only had to cover 23 yards. Carlson's point after is good. Key third down for Kentucky was fumbled away by Terry Wilson to Jamian Sherwood. And this set Auburn up with a short field. Tigers wasted no time. Nix hooks up with Williams for the second time today, and Auburn has an advantage.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. Get a quote today, and in part by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Now look at the history of the stadiums at Auburn. Cliff Harris Stadium, capacity 21,000 would have been big enough for today's attendance. Jordan Hare look you saw a moment ago is what it should look like. It looks fuller than it is, but then you get a little bit closer. Today's attendance, 17,490 socially distanced fans in the stadium, majority of those students. No return for Kentucky. So take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance, and it comes from Auburn wide receiver Seth Williams.
This guy's been a force all day. I mean, jump ball after jump ball. Bo Nix has an absolute trust in his guy to go up and get it over anybody, and that's abuse right there. I mean, that is a man among boys. And yeah, I'd be smiling too.
6 catches for $112. Remember, Nick Williams hooked up for a game-winning touchdown in the opening game of the season last year. Terry Wilson's been a little rusty today. Here's Cavassier Smoke. 3 yards on first down. Last drive ended for Kentucky with Terry Wilson putting the ball on the ground.
They're going to have to take some more risks. Take a couple shots downfield. Down 2 scores now. This is not where Kentucky is comfortable as an offense. They like to be in control, set the pace, start on the ground, and have to lean much more on Terry Wilson's arm.
They'll empty the backfield on 2nd and 8. Out to Josh Ali. It's just 2. Libby Wood the stop, redshirt freshman out of Lawrenceville, Georgia.
You know, Tom, last time they were in this position, I said they were in field goal range. Well, you know, watching on a computer monitor here in my home office, I was slightly off. You know, you're so used to
40 yards.
You're so used to sitting in the stadium looking out on the field, and you know, I just get caught up looking at this computer monitor. So 3rd and 5, not in field goal range. Got a lot of work to do.
On 3rd and 5 to the slant, batted away. Great coverage in the back end by Roger McCreary, who had the pick 6 waved off due to the targeting late in the 2nd quarter. They're trying to find Allen Daly Jr.
Again, great defense. I mean, I've been impressed with what I thought might be a question mark. Not in talent, but more so in experience. The corners in the secondary for Auburn, but they have played a near flawless game, especially in man tight coverage.
Duffy had a 75-yarder last time. Led the nation in punting last year. He's going to try to take off on 4th and 5, and he won't come close. Duffy had a fake punt against Missouri in the rain last year that was key, and now Jordan Peters tracks him down. Tough to outrun Peters.
And you don't know if this was necessarily called, but sometimes this is an automatic check, but this has got to get going downhill quicker. I know that's the direction Max Duffy usually goes before he kicks, but Auburn brought the rush that time. Boy, I mean, that's a gamble. But with 9 minutes left, I think you punt that away and you try to trust your defense there. Now Auburn set up to take a commanding lead in this game.
Bigsby with the run. Cole, what'd you see from Mark Stoops on the side?
Yeah, did you see Stoops down there?
Yeah, he's kind of down there getting into him right now, and I agree with Jordan. That didn't look like a read to me at all. We actually had a game that Max Duffy faked one of those punts, and he still gives you that drift and holds the ball out like he's going to kick it, and then he'll tuck it late and go. That looked like he had made up his mind and he was going to go the entire time. Not sure if that's what was called, but it looked like that's what his mindset was.
On 2nd and 4 now. Nix stands tall down the sideline again. This time it's Eli Stove. And another touchdown for Bo Nix. And Stove pulled a bow in the kingdom and just kept running right into the tunnel.
Bo has been pinpoint accurate with his downfield passing, something that I think we were all trying to see how much or how big of a step he was going to take in that area. Boy, he's been sharp.
Bo Nix with his 3rd touchdown pass of this game. Auburn with a commanding lead midway through the 4th. Bo Nix in the air for the 3rd time today.
Lease the GLA 250 SUV for just $399.
Fourth quarter, and we're about an hour away from kickoff. Will it be Juwan Mathis, the redshirt freshman, getting the start for Kirby Smarts? We'll see. Back to you, boys.
All right, Peter, thanks. Auburn with a short field, each of their last 2 possessions, taking advantage to increase this lead. Zach Johnson to the 20-25. And brought down
Johnson from the 1-yard line.
At the 29-yard line. 8:11 to go. Kentucky turned the ball over on a 3rd and 5 on a Terry Wilson fumble. And then they turned it over on downs with punter Matt Duffy tried to run for a 1st down on 3rd and 5. Jordan, what do you think of the play of Terry Wilson today?
Well, you know, I think he showed flashes of why everyone's excited about him with his ability to push the ball downfield, and he showed a little burst. Hasn't quite got loose running the football, but he has that in his bag as well. It's really just been the rust, the inconsistency, the ball security, the mistake down on the goal line, throwing the interception before half. It's expected after a year off, especially with the kind of offseason that we had. He didn't get cleared until May of this year after surgery last year. So expect a little rust. You wish it wouldn't have come in the big moments that it did this game that really changed the landscape of where we're at right now at 29-13.
Auburn drops 11. Wilson has nowhere to go with it, and he'll send this one deep to the sideline.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback's out of the tackle box.
Quickly 3rd and 9.
And this is the tough part. I mean, a lot of Kentucky's best offensive concepts in the pass game are predicated on play action or run action. I mean, because they run the football so effectively, that opens up holes in that area of the field. And this is not their forte. 2-minute drill is not their forte here. Throwing the football down in after down out is not their forte, but they got to get something going here on 3rd and long. Look for Josh Ali.
Wilson, pocket collapses, and they take him down. Papo chose number 0 in the offseason. We knew it would be available. It looks good on him.
And Cole's been saying his name. That's a great job. That's a green dog. That's a late linebacker pressure. When the running back stays in to block, the linebacker responsible for him adds to the pass rush. And if something takes too long downfield, as it did with Terry Wilson trying to find Josh Ali, that's when that green dog hits home.
6 Kentucky possessions in the second half. They failed to get a first down on 5 of the 6. On 4th and 15, Duffy kicks this one away. And we'll see where they mark it, running up the sideline to the 40. Well, it is a new look Auburn offense. Same quarterback back, but Gus Malzahn had a chance to hire one of his buddies in the offseason, Chad Morris, who was let go as the Arkansas head coach after last season. Chad said, the first time I visited with Gus as a high school coach, I knew I needed to get better. The superintendent had basically threatened my job if we didn't make it to the postseason. Went to see what his team was doing at Shiloh High School, learned the offense, came back, put our spin on it, and now, again, at a low point in my career, I got Gus to lean on. The ball is incomplete. Trying to find Anthony Schwartz. And so the question has always been, when Gus Malzahn is working with the new offensive coordinator, well, whose offense is it going to be and what's it going to look like? I don't think there's any question that this looks like Chad Morris's offense.
Yeah, I think so. And the problem in the past has been trust. And anytime you're an offensive guru, someone that is a trailblazer in this industry, in this sport, as Gus Malzahn was, you always think, and you always should think, that you can do it the best, right? And so, yeah, you hand it over, but you have a lot of influence over the game plan, and that's tough. The relationship between an offensive head coach and his offensive coordinator is tough, because the coordinator needs to have autonomy, because he's got to say, I'm going to do this, and he's got to think like chess, 3 or 4 moves down the road. Tough to do when your head coach is coming in and saying, let's do this or that or not that. So this is all about trust, and the trust that Gus Malzahn has in Chad Morris. They come from the same tree. There is unequivocally a great amount of trust. So I've seen Chad Morris's imprint all over this offense today.
25 pass attempts for Bo Nix, make it 26 now, and balanced with 26 runs. I can go back to Chad Morris's history as a play caller at Arkansas and SMU, and Gus Malzahn's offense since 2013. Obviously run heavy for Gus, and it skews not quite that much for Chad Morris.
Balance is the key in this league. You want to be as balanced as possible. You don't want to get into a situation where you're not able to run the football effectively and you become predictable through the air. That's something that Chad does well, and by design, using the tight end more and checking the sideline after aligning your initial formation allows you to get into the best play and allows you to be more balanced. Run when it's best and pass when you have the numbers to throw it.
Fantastic punt down inside the 10. And they're going to say it was at the 7. You can't kick it forward. It's against the rules. 45-yard punt, under 5 to go in this one. All right, so here's a reminder of what the schedule looks like this season in the SEC. Conference games only in the regular season. You'll play 6 in your division, 4 out of the division. The championship game will be a week before Christmas, December 19th. Same spot, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, but a couple weeks later, normal. And if you're playing 10 conference games, odds are you're going to face a lot of top 25 teams. In fact, 6 in the top 10. Screen to Josh Ali. KJ Britt brings him down. It's a gain of 5. 10 tackles for Britt now. Be an interesting scenario going forward for Kentucky at quarterback. Bo Allen, freshman out of Lexington Catholic, has a big arm. Sawyer Smith started a couple of games for Kentucky last year. And they have an Auburn flavor in the quarterback room. Joey Gatewood. Talking with Mark Stoops yesterday, he said, listen, the rule is in place for a reason, that you have to have a year in residence. Greg Sankey spoke to that this week on the radio as well on Jocks, and he said, listen, if the members don't want the rule, the members can change the rule. But the rule is you can't transfer in conference without sitting out a season. There's Messier smoke. But the fact of the matter is, whether Kentucky expects him to be eligible soon or not, he's been running with the number 2 offense. And offensive coordinator Eddie Gran has the back play sheet just for him. Ball incomplete and batted away. So what's your all take? Will we see Joey Gatewood on the field for Kentucky at all this season, or even as early as next week?
I don't. Go ahead, Cole. Sorry.
If you're asking me at all this season, I would say yes. Just because of how weird and how different and how odd everything is this year. Everybody's getting this year back anyway. No eligibility comes off the board for this entire season for any college football player. So I believe at some point, whether it's Joey Gatewood, whether it's Cade Mays, I think we'll see them all play at some point this season. All the guys waiting on waivers, I believe that they get them just based on everything that we're dealing with through this pandemic and what this offseason has been. Just don't know exactly when that's going to be.
Cade Mays going Georgia to Tennessee. Jordan, your take?
I'm a big fan of being able to transfer and immediately play one time, no matter what. I think in this day and age, with the uncertainty of coaches getting paid what they do, and they're able to recruit players but then leave the next year for a bigger, better job, I think players should have the opportunity to transfer and not have to sit out once and not be penalized.
Well, and if that's the case, then it's pretty simple. The coaches are going to have to tell their ADs and tell the league office, we don't care about guys transferring within the conference and being eligible. And you can see why that would open up a whole can of worms. Scenario came up with Alabama a couple of years ago, and Nick Saban spoke bluntly about it. He said, listen, either we have the rule or we don't, but if you have a rule, it should be enforced. Makes the coach or the program that the player is transferring from look like the bad guy. It is why there's so much promise for Gatewood when he does see the field for Kentucky. Played 8 games with Auburn last year and left the team before the season was concluded. Bo Allen, the big arm freshman, is listed as the number 2 quarterback this week. First down on the pass interference, 3:19 to play. On the crossing route, they get a couple more yards. That'll go for 3. Is he whistled down or not? Referees will chase him into the end zone. Remember, these are electronic whistles. To Marcus Harris scores. Touchdown, wow. Kentucky. Nobody brought him down.
Yeah, I not hear a whistle down here, guys.
He's going to roll 44 yards. Roll over the top. Does a knee? Yep, knee comes down right there. Tough for the official on the outside to see that, but that's very obviously going to be down.
He was down twice.
Down twice. Really. Yeah, hey, can't fault him for trying, though, you know.
Remember, first game the officials.
Going on the field is the touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Cole, did you hear the whistles?
I did not hear anything down here at field level. And keep in mind, they now have the option to use the electronic whistles or the old school. I guess now they're old school since we have new school electric whistles, which before this football season, anybody knew were a real thing. And I talked to a couple of the guys before the game. I said, you going electronic? You going old school, traditional? And most of them told me that they were going to use their traditional handheld whistles, that they weren't going to go with the electronic. So they had the option to, and it was up to each individual official. But most guys were going to go with the old school traditional whistle that we all grew up with.
And the big issue, if SEC fans haven't been watching for the first couple of weeks, and I think most of you have been, you're probably aware of this, the issue that we've seen in college football with the electronic whistles, sometimes they're not heard.
The review, the ball carrier was down to 41. It'll be second down, Kentucky. The game clock will start on the ready for play.
Because whistles aren't heard, the electronic variety, it's become a player safety issue through the first couple of weeks. Electronic whistles originally put in play. Try and take a COVID-19 precaution and extend.
It's one of those great ideas, and then you realize just in practice it's not practical.
Kentucky trails by 16. Wilson Inside, complete to Ali for a first down.
Yeah, I did think it was kind of cool, guys. I asked one of them to show it to me, and it's like a giant duck call, and you just push the button, and I couldn't believe how loud it was when he actually blew the whistle for me, and I said, all the noise comes out of that thing? Is it on speakers? And he said, no, it all comes right out of this.
Go back to the passing game. Ali loses his T-shirt and picking up more yards. It's 17 yards on the gain. It's like Earl Campbell's tearaway jersey.
Like a Stretch Armstrong leg back in the day. Just keeps going. I think Eddie Grant in Kentucky might watch this film and realize it could incorporate a little more up-tempo, some quick passes for Terry Wilson. He's much better when he's in rhythm, getting the ball out quickly. I don't think we saw a ton of that early in this game. And try to find the balance between running the football and doing the type of concepts at a quicker pace that Terry Wilson is most comfortable with.
Jalen Simpson exits the game. Looked like a hamstring situation coming off of the injury stoppage. With 2:17 to play. You're down 16. You get it in here, you got to go for two. Remember last time Terry Wilson threw it away on a two-point conversion. Auburn shows pressure up the middle. Terry Wilson's going to run it right there. Wilson to the edge, to the 5. We got a flag on the play.
Blocking the back, offense number 89. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
It's Alan Daly on the outside. Trying to get involved, yeah. I mean, he's thinking the right way. He's thinking screen, wall off a guy, but can't do that to the back.
Missed opportunity for Kentucky. A solid run by Wilson. The clock rolling. It'll be under 2 minutes now. A 1st and 12 to the screen. DeMarcus Harris. 5, and the ball came loose. Auburn says they got it. Did Pope come away with it? He did. Auburn with another takeaway. It's the 3rd time they've taken it away from Kentucky this half. Terry Wilson put the ball on the ground, then they stopped him on downs, and now this.
I think there's going to be an emphasis on ball security drill for Kentucky next week. Had Terry Wilson fumble earlier on a spin move. I think it just slipped out of his hand on that one right there. You just got to get the ball in high and tight. You want to grab your fist and punch your chin. They used to say, get that ball close to your chest and vertical. Time it's flat and out in the open, it's going to get punched.
So 8th-ranked Auburn gets it done from their defense here this afternoon. 147, and Nix puts the ball on the ground. And he'll flick it out of bounds. Stops the clock at 1:41. Kentucky has a pair of timeouts.
And the pass off the line of scrimmage.
Nuggets and Lakers tonight, by the way. Lakers trying to clinch in game 5.
Kentucky, their second of the half.
Got his feet up and laughing right about
Be a
now.
30-second timeout.
Oh, he already laughed at your terrible impersonation. And now Chuck saying, yeah, I was right. No need to worry. Peyton Manning on with him on Monday Night Football on ESPN2. Barkley's trash talk didn't stop in Kentucky. Here he is on Tennessee.
Tennessee's got Auburn later in the year, Kirk. That was one of our bonus games that was given to us as a gift Alabama and LSU got Vanderbilt and Kentucky, I think. But we got A&M and Auburn. And, you know, I'll be at Auburn. Charles, if you want to do something right now, kind of make a statement about the game, I'd be glad to give you my thoughts.
Well, you know, in the SEC, we only worry about Alabama and Georgia. Tennessee's like on the back burner. Like, we got our hands full with Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. Like, we put y'all, listen, y'all call it a bonus. Y'all were like our preseason schedule, Tennessee, before we get to Alabama and Georgia.
Talking that trash.
There's nobody better talking trash than Barkley. Tennessee will be in action tonight against South Carolina right here on the SEC Network. It's SEC Saturday night. Colin Hill, grad transfer from Colorado State, is Gamecock starting quarterback over Ryan Walensky. Tennessee came from behind to beat Indiana in the Gator Bowl last year. They finished the season with a 6-game win streak. Sam Pittman's Arkansas squad swinging into action coming up next. Paul, how do you break down Georgia and Arkansas?
I'm interested to see what that Georgia offense looks like, but I actually think the Arkansas offense is a little more interesting than people want to give them credit for. A really good group of receivers, a quarterback in Felipe Franks with experience, an offensive coordinator that knows how to take advantage, maybe do a little bit more with a little bit less up front on that offensive line in Kendall Briles. And you got a stud tailback in Rakeem Boyd, a guy who's a legitimate game breaker when he's healthy. So I'm actually looking for that Arkansas offense to maybe exceed some expectations, but they're going up against best defense in college football. So I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to knock off the Bulldogs today.
All right, Cole's got more work to do in Auburn. Jordan, we can move to our respective couches now and shut down the Zoom call. Just enjoy a day of SEC football.
Yeah, these type of wins, they may be a little bit ugly, but in a 10-game all-SEC season, you'll take these every day of the week. I mean, these are the type of wins that the best teams are going to have to get week in and week out in this 10-week drive.
Third straight season, Auburn has an opening win against a ranked opponent, one game down in a 10-game season, and Auburn starts with a victory. Our final score today, Auburn 29, Kentucky 13. Coming up next year on the SEC Network, it's SEC Now, presented by Yellowwood, followed by number 4 Georgia and Arkansas. Cole Cutlett, Jordan Rogers, our fantastic SEC Network crew, Tom Hart. So long from wherever we are.